Yo, what's up, guys? How are you doing today, man? Coming out some more NBA breaking news. Now, today we have a Super Bowl just came out of nowhere. I was literally just chilling, checked my notification, and I saw this bombshell. Atlanta is trading Dejounte Murray to the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm like, when this first came out, I'm like, yo, this has to be potentially like a 1-for-1, maybe even like a player and a pick for Dejounte Murray. That player I was thinking of was Brandon Ingram. My initial tweet when this came out was like, this has to be for Brandon Ingram, correct? There's been this rumor of Dejounte Murray for Brandon Ingram from really since the offseason started towards the end of the playoffs as well. Dejounte Murray for Brandon Ingram. The Hawks could use a wing, even though they just drafted Zachary Richardson, I believe that's how you pronounce his name. They have DeAndre Hunter. But the fact of the matter is, Brandon Ingram is an impending free agent. Pelicans are offering him the max contract right now currently, kind of like how the Clippers are not offering PG-13 and K. Paul George the maximum contract and the maximum amount of years on that contract as well, which I made it to be honest, like, why would they do that? He's a number 3 option, he's 34 years old, why would they give him that much? But this is about Dejounte Murray heading to the New Orleans Pelicans, and like I mentioned, it's not a deal for Brandon Ingram. It's not a deal for a starter that is on the Pelicans. It's not a deal for a Larry Nash Jr., the 2027 first round pick, and a 2025 first round pick. Now, that 2025 first round pick is via the Lakers. That was the pick that they got in the Anthony Davis trade. And a least favorable of the Milwaukee Pelicans 2027 first round pick. And Larry Nash Jr. And more for Murray. I don't know what that more is. If by the time this video is up, I don't know what that would be. Okay. I don't know why I just randomly just forgot about this. The more was the former lottery pick for the Pelicans, who was actually very good defender, still working on that, developing a offensive game and developing a jump shot. But the full-on deal for Dejounte Murray's Larry Nash Jr., Dyson Daniels, 2025 first-round pick via the Lakers, and a 2027 first-round pick, least favorable, or 2027 least favorable first-round pick via the Bucks or the New Orleans Pelicans. I'll be honest with you guys, like I just said, I thought this deal would be a 1-for-1 for Dejounte Murray for Brandon Ingram. The fact that the Hawks just gave Dejounte Murray a contract extension literally last offseason. I knew they were going to trade one of those two. I was hoping it was going to be Dejounte Murray just because of the fact that I like the Trae Young fit with the Atlanta Hawks, and all Atlanta Hawks fans love Trae Young. But the fact of the matter is Dejounte Murray's defense, which they got him for, it definitely fell off a cliff now that he was on the Hawks, which really does not make sense because he had a bigger role in San Antonio. He was a much better defender. He was an all defensive caliber player. I believe he also was on the all defensive team as well. He was one of the best defenders in basketball, especially at that lead guard position. Went to the Hawks, and yes, his three-point shooting definitely got a lot better. This was the best three-point shooting season of Dejounte Murray's NBA career. But the fact of the matter is his defense absolutely fell off a cliff. Yes, he's still up there for a... He's still one of the best playmakers in all of basketball. Now you see him back into that lead guard role. They had to map up a starting five, but what do you see the Pelicans starting five being? They still need a center. I don't know who their center is going to be. They probably will not be re-signing Jonas Valanciunas because he really didn't really get... He got sporadic minutes here and there. He would start the game off, and then sometimes in the fourth quarter he just wouldn't play. And you know who would come in and fill those minutes for him because he has the ability to switch? Larry Nash Jr. was now on the Atlanta Hawks. So I don't know what they're going to do, to be honest, at that center position. They didn't go out, and I don't know. I don't know, man. You're thinking of the starting five right now for the New Orleans Pelicans being Dejounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and who else would that be at the five? I mean, I really don't know, to be quite frank. Obviously, there were a lot of rumors that Dejounte Murray going to multiple teams, including obviously the Pelicans, but also the Lakers as well, and them wanting Austin Reeves. And then they end up trading him for a Danny Avdija trade package. The trade that people on the timeline were crying about, and they were acting like they were Danny Avdija's stan accounts, and Danny Avdija was the greatest thing since sliced bread. I made a tweet. I was like, Danny Avdija, I thought he was a integral part of the Wizards team. I thought it was a lesser version of Mikal Bridges in that 3-and-D. Still trying to get into that Mikal Bridges in the year 2024 role, where he's able to create his own shot and get to the mid range at the level that I think Danny Avdija can a couple years down the line reach. Now he's on the Blazers. He got traded for 2 first-round picks, including this year's first-round pick, the 14th overall pick, Bob Carrington, and a first-round pick, I believe, is that the also 2031 pick, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of 2031 picks. I know the Timberwolves traded a 2031 for Rob Dillingham, the Demon, and they drafted Terrence Shannon with the 27th overall pick in the 2024 NBA draft. They absolutely fucking could. Those guys off the bench, they dominated college basketball. 2 very fun guys to watch. They are cooking, but that's besides the point. They got a Danny Avdija trade package. Danny Avdija waiting for 2 first-round picks and a player, which was Malcolm Brogdon. Dejounte Murray went for 2 picks and a player, or 2 player. He went for 2 picks and a player, 2 players, let's say. Larry Nance Jr. and Dyson Daniels. And they got 2 first-round picks back. One is going to be the Lakers from next year's, and a 2027 first-round pick, the least favorable of the Bucks Pelicans. Now, finally, because CJ McCollum going back to his natural position. I was always just thinking in the back of my head, like, what are the Pelicans going to do this offseason? I really want to see them start Trey Murphy. I believe Trey Murphy is one of the most underrated players in all of basketball. I would love to see him start. Unfortunately, it looks like he will not be starting. But fortunately for him, it looks like they're just going to ride it out, pause with Brandon Ingram, and then just let him walk in free agency, and then obviously just have Trey Murphy start the 3 and still look to get a 5. Because if I'm not mistaken, off the top of my head, I forgot who the Pelicans went out and drafted in the 2024 NBA draft. Let me just quickly go ahead and look that up as I go ahead and go through that. Oh, no, they did draft him big. Yves Missi, I forgot about that. That was the 21st overall pick. Well, yeah, they did get it big. They did get what I just say? V Missi, if I'm not mistaken, out of Baylor. Yeah, okay, so they did get it big. I don't know if it will start from day one. But I like what they did. They also went out and got my boy Antonio Reeves from Kentucky, formerly of Illinois State as well. He's an absolute buck. I think he's going to be a really good 6-man in this league, but they also do have another really good 6-man that I think that can be a really good 6-man in this league. Jordan Hawkins really didn't get too much clock last season, but he definitely showed he had pretty good potential. He had a couple of 20-plus point games. I remember he had a really good game against the Mavericks, so they got both of those guys off the bench that should provide you instant offense. Now you look at the Hawks. Do they potentially look to trade Trae Young and Clint Capella and DeAndre Hunter? Do they just try to go ahead and retool with Trae Young, Zachary Risachet, I forgot that's how you pronounce his last name. And you guys remember they still have Kobe Buffkin. They just traded Adrian Griffin away. I don't know what GM Landry Fields in the front office of the Hawks are going to be doing, but how do Hawks fans feel with this? My boy, one of the only ATL fans I know, my boy Comedic, aka Dr. Comedic, literally basically just crashed out on the Atlanta Hawks organization after finding out the news about Dejounte Murray being traded. I mean, I know you probably would want a better player than a Larry Nance Jr. or a Dyson Daniels, but maybe they are just banking on Dyson Daniels developing a jump shot and continuing to be one of the most underrated defenders in all of basketball. He has really good size, but he also just drafted Kobe Buffkin, who also plays the point. I mean, Dyson Daniels is a taller point guard, but Larry Nance Jr., I don't know what's going to happen there because I don't know what the Hawks are going to do. I'm going to look at this notification before I get off just to make sure I don't miss anything. Yeah, that's a yeah. That is tough. That is so apparently according to Wolves, the Pelicans are still trying to find a deal with Brandon Ingram. So right now they're starting 5 right now currently would be again CJ McCollum. That's not CJ McCollum, my fault. Dejounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, and I guess right now for the offensive agency, V Missi from Baylor. So hey, let them cook, I guess. Let them cook. In my opinion, this is a really good trade with the Pelicans. You get a win now point guard. And you guys have to remember, Mikal Bridges just went for 5 first-round picks. Dejounte Murray, who right now is a better player in my opinion, just went for 2 first-round picks. Dyson Daniels and Larry Nance Jr. Can we just clap it up for the New Orleans Pelicans? Can we just clap it up right there? Front office just going out and just getting better after getting swept in the first round. Even though they didn't have their best player in Zion Williamson, they're still trying to get a deal structured with their second best player in Brandon Ingram. Now they have a big three. We can call this a big three, ladies and gentlemen. Zion Williamson, Dejounte Murray, and Brandon Ingram. If those two in particular, Ingram and Zion, can stay healthy, this moves me. They've needed a point guard for a while. CJ McCollum he's a shooting guard. Let's just call a spade a spade. He's a shooting guard, and now you just take so much pressure off of Ingram and Zion. And don't forget, their fourth best player is now CJ McCollum, who can go out and get 20 every game. Like, this moves me. I'll be honest, this moves me for the Hawks. Again, they're trading Trey, Capella, DeAndre Hunter, other guys on the roster that have anything. I don't know, to be quite frank, but in my opinion, I love this move for the Pelicans. Go out and you win now. You get a win now guy in Dejounte Murray, who just had the best three-point shooting season of his NBA career. Hopefully he can hone into defense with the Pelicans, because they could definitely need another really good defender, especially when you just traded away one of their better defenders in Dyson Daniels, and now you still have Herb Jones, who ascended to becoming a really good 3-and-D player last season. So wait, I didn't even mention, is Herb Jones coming off the bench now? Ooh, y'all have Herb Jones and Trey Murphy the third off the bench. So that's what again? That's Dejounte Murray, CJ McCollum, Brandon Ingram, Zion Williamson, I guess let's say V Misi. Off the bench you have Herb Jones. Off the bench you also have Trey Murphy, but Jose Alvarado. I don't know if they're going to re-sign Najee Marshall. The Pelicans move me, I'll be honest. In a stack West still, the Pelicans move me. I'm a big fan of Zion and what's his name, Brandon Ingram. And hopefully these four can pan out. Of obviously Zion Williamson, Brandon Ingram, Dejounte Murray, and CJ McCollum. But wow, Pelicans, I know y'all have to be happy as hell right now. This just came out of the blue. I'm like, this has to be a straight up deal. Dejounte Murray for Brandon Ingram. The fact that the Hawks don't get Brandon Ingram back, and the fact that the Pelicans didn't have to include Brandon Ingram, this is amazing. Four guys on any given night that can give you 20 plus points a game, and you have a really good bench now with the guys I just mentioned, and Trey Murphy the third, and what's his name, Trey Murphy the third, and Herb Jones and Jose Alvarado. Like, this moves me. This moves me, to be quite frank. This actually moves me. Again, maybe they go out and try to gauge starting center and have V Misi be the backup. I don't know. But for right now, this is a phenomenal trade for the New Orleans Pelicans. Again, clap it up for the New Orleans Pelicans. But yeah, other than that, yo, that is the video. So go down below, drop a like, comment down below, sub up, follow me on Twitch, Twitter, and see your boy John. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video, and I'm out, man. Peace.